Hello all, I hope you're very good this morning. I'm Veronique and I'm back with a new video on Scope International. So this morning I'm going to do a testimony, the following testimony based on the current situations that I had with my medical record in France basically. It's following the different videos that I already reporting. So let me start it. So the current situation is really focused on the two later that are being sent to the 45 siege in Boulevard in Colmar. This information has already been um, provided by employees in the Caisse Assurance Maladie in France. So in this case, I've been reporting that in that letter it actually contains the following informations, which is my medical record from UK, a cover letter agreeing that it did the informations from UK, and the second letter was the information from France, the GHR document medical for the emergency in Mulhouse, where I've been elected around the time that in the month of October, April. So our request to have such information has been providing on that cover letter pin. This information was missing, and the letter was basically sent back home in my address. So my question was the following reason was really why they have been sending these informations with why they have been sending the letter ping, but they didn't send the letter bring. So let me carry on this testimony. Following such challenge regarding my medical record in France, as I said previously, I've been contacting the Caisse Assurance Maladie and I explained the situations of been sending those informations from 45 Rue Siege in Colmar, and I had by telephone that this address is not exist at all. So my letter has been received in an address that was not it was inexistent, and I was really questioning myself why these documents were not being was the why the green letter has been not sent back as the pink letter has been sent back to my address without the document of GSR. And I had two confirmation that that address doesn't exist 45 real station in Coma basically. I had that by telephone, and I also have the feedback from the employees into the SAP, the Caisse Assurance Maladie, by the online logiciel, where I've been informed the situations, and they response to me that on the 19th of May, because I made the declaration on 17th of May 2021, and the response that this address doesn't exist. The organization doesn't have any organization in that address, the 45 Rue Siege in Coma. The only address that where I sent all my medical record from UK and France were received in 90 Boulevard of 90 Champ de Boulevard in Mars in 68. In that address was based on the sent to the director Christophe Lavaguette. In that address has been received. That's the only document that they have been received. So they have been confirming that that information was not received at all in that address. So now I have feedback regarding that. Really been reporting that the pink letter was received, was sending back because they say the address was not existent. The post say that this address was not existent, so they sent that letter to my address. And the missing information, the most important information was the information for the GHR was missing on that letter basically. So and recently, and I was questions myself to them why this letter was the pin was sending back to my address, why not the green letter. So I was really like, where is the my medical record from UK basically? And recently I had the green letter was being appeared back in my address. The green letter or the medical record, you can see he's really like it's 45 Rue du Siège. So it's been sending back. It's only contain the information my medical record from UK. So it's been sending back now. I sent these informations on the 30 March 2021. So we are now in May. So it was taking longer to be send it back to my address. After the second letter, pink letter was sent after this letter, and I basically received that document back home without the JRR document, and the letter was crushed everywhere. So this is the main questions that really concerned about it. Now regarding this as the letters coming back home, and I've been a request from um, the the la caisse assurance maladie regarding this issue. And based on that challenge, because I saw that later was basically sending back home, as I said here previously, I anticipate by sending my UK medical record and my French medical record to the 19 boulevards, 90 Champs de Mars in Colmar, la Caisse Assurance Maladie in Champs de Boulevard. I send those informations there, and it was addressed to the director, like I said. This advice was collected from the police in this town based on the challenge that I had. So I anticipate as I seen the challenge that I had, such as the DMP challenge, to record my information through it. So I had to send that through the address, because you always need to call such service in Colmar. So I sent to that address all the informations. So through my conversation telephony with the woman that I've been talking to, she really informed me that they had been received that late green later, but they could not provide me the information if they have fully received all the data from UK medical and France medical. Why it was like that? Because I have the history of having the pink cover letter for 40 coma, and the missing on a very most important information was missing in that document, basically in that letter. So I was not sure in that day, so I told them that I'm going to send another example, a duplicate later, which was green. The first one was green, sent to 19 green, 90 Boulevard Champ de Mars, and then after my conversation with the employees of in Caisse Assurance Maladie, I sent the second duplicate later, which was pink. So this is two story different. I sent two, the pink and green in the 45 siège en Colmar. This is the wrong address. And then I sent two later, duplicate, UK medical record and French record in one letter, and then in a green letter and pink letter in that address, and they have been receiving that. Based on that challenge, that was really mainly focused on the recording my medical record from France, because the history of my health in France was not really good at all, because I found myself in so many times in the hospital, see the doctor so many times. I've been in the emergency, so I was really looking for recording all my information I have like we call it here la carte le carnet de santé, and I didn't have any that kind of access, so I asked my doctor, and he could not provide it. The only things I provided was the kind of vaccination, so I had to um, checking where I can basically record all my informations, medical record. So I found that the DMP online logiciel has the duty to make us a professional health to integrate all the medical record of the patients. So I was really looking for doing that. As I've previously explaining, the main point was to mainly be requesting the medical record to record such information and really see the history of my health, which was the main challenge that I was looking for, understanding what was the reason of my sickness, why I was always sick, and why I always has to find myself to see the doctor. So in this case, I explained the situation regarding the two later. So they in the 19 Boulevard de Champs de Mars, they received the two later, so the duplicate in the original of the UK medical and the French medical. The other one address, the letter came back home. And now the situation through which I was talking about traveling to through this by telephone, I have to inform that I'm traveling to Spain. Normally was in the at the end of the month, but I was requesting to make inform that I'm traveling there, and if it's something happen like medical any things, I need to know what I should do to make to inform what I'm doing, what was going on in France, and what's the law and the right for me in the other country, EU country, to have all the need, all the help from all the nations in the EU. So I have an information from these employees in the la caisse d'assurance maladie to ask from my doctor the certificate payable medical. That document really used to show to share to the doctor in the EU, another EU citizen, to see I have a doctor who actually writing this letter such as say yes, for example, the main duty was to be vaccinated in the other country, and also have different meeting with the radiology and massage kine according to my leg. So after that information, I went to see my doctor, and the doctor basically told me that he doesn't know what is these documents, and he could not provide me such fill this document and provide me such informations, and also it just give me a prescriptions. That's all it gave. So the prescriptions cannot be used in full into the country. I had this information from the SAP, la caisse d'assurance maladie. So la caisse d'assurance maladie advised me to go to my doctor, and the doctor has to provide this information. Unfortunately, they could not provide such information. Then recently, I went back to my doctor and I request such information again. And this time, I found out on the internet that it's actually my doctor. The doctor has to provide such information. He basically say again, he cannot provide such informations. And regarding my traveling to UK, to Spain, the current situation with the COVID-19, when you travel, you need a QR code will actually demonstrate all your health and your information for your passport, the result from the test that you made, the PCR test, and also the vaccine if it is required. So the QR code mentioned that, and when you pass the border to the airport, if you want to travel, you must have the QR code. Following the information that I have from the doctor, if you are not vaccinated, I cannot travel. But then after the information that I have from different sources, it's possible to travel without any be vaccinated, but you must have the QR code, and the QR code can generate when you do the PCR test. Fortunately, after all these informations that I had, the government, the president Macron in France really did recently say that the people of my age, like 30, I have 31 years old, so they plan out the 31 May, everyone in my age and even like people who are 18 can already go to different centers to be vaccinated. So I had to postpone to just be vaccinated before to travel, basically, because I really need to be setting things clearly, and I will not be surprised. I don't want to be sick anymore regarding my history. It is not appropriate. So after this information from the government from France, I postponed so that I can be vaccinated before to travel. So regarding the DMP situation and regarding all the history challenges I already explained, I had to from the advice from the South, because because for now what has been setting already, what is been setting this the la caisse d'assurance maladie since I'm in France. I have my card vital. I have the same 100% of help from the good health who anything that you purchase when you have prescriptions, when you have meet appointment with the doctor, it is free. How can I do that? Is I have to fill a form and provide all my more workplace in the UK, which they can see the history. So I have this that same you are actually using here in France, so that you can have like the fully help, the fully um the fully carry from the doctor, and anything that you do medicine, everything is free basically. So I had that. Now the things that I've done so far, the SAP, la caisse d'assurance maladie, based on the DMP system and the challenge with the doctor, actually advised me to contact the mediator and explain the situation according to the different tick that they provide. And then the mediator fortunately responds to me. So in that, the response to me based on the medical record that I provide, my English medical record, and the impact of the DMP. So I received the letter from the mediator, and this is it. This is the document of the mediator. And in that letter, what is this constant? Because I'm going to share what the mediator said. So let's speak to the next video. Thank you very much. See you to the next video. Hello everyone, I'm back to a new video. I'm Bernie. Welcome to Scope International YouTube channel. So as I said earlier, I received a letter from the mediator. So the director of, basically is actually the director of Christophe Lagatec of the SAP of Caisse d'assurance maladie of OHA, who actually responds to my request. And he definitely say that that he just maintained that many times I've been requesting the attentions regarding the challenge that I had based on my complementary and medical medical UK record that need to be settled, that was really challenging. Because it's really informed that since the 15th October 2013, and I've really been very challenging according to that situation, and it's explaining all the impacting regarding any refund or everything that I've been paid, because I paid all my medicine at the first when I came back from UK to France. I basically has to pay all my medicine, the appointment, and everything. I paid with my own money. It was about more than £500 that I literally paid without the help of the government. There are some percentages been providing, but not all. So in this case, that this has been done. You just informed that they have not done that so far. They cannot provide. They have done it, but they cannot provide us such information to the DMP. But when I look into the DMP, I can really see that la caisse, la SAP d'assurance maladie already add such information. So they say that the refund or all payment that I established from the time I came back from UK to France has been established. So now you say that. And also he speaks regarding my DMP situations, the record of all my data through it. And he said that been challenging, and found out that many professionals, the reason why different professionals such as pharmacy, such as my doctor, could not be able to add the information because there are dysfunctionment through the system. So he allowed me to add the information through the system, so which I already did, by add all my information through it, by taking the picture and add to the DMP every document that I had from the hospital, radiology, gynecologue, a doctor, pharmacy, anything that I had, I just add through it. Even the medical record from UK, I add through it. So I record all such information into it. So I always have, anywhere I go, I have the information through it. I can find it down there. So this is the main things. It's actually approving. You can see the letter here that I have from him, the sign from Christophe Lagatec. Actually demonstrate me that. So, and also informing me, because I request my information since my daughter is my doctor, so he has to provide my medical record from it. And it has been found, it has been said that they cannot provide me from an anterior of 4 years because I've not been in French territory since 2017, so it could not provide me such informations. So fortunately, from what I already said, the doctor and what he has been said to it here, my daughter actually already added such information, already provide me my medical record to the key USB basically. So the information already been provided me. So it's actually response me that the information already being can be added through the system and the dysfunctions. The professional cannot add my information to it, so that they cannot do it much regarding my request. And then they inform me to see my DMP and RO and the information. But these informations that SP back on the 7th May 2020 has been that 2020. The dates start from 2000 January, March, April, May 2021, 20, but it's actually say that I must made add all my information through this DMP system, which I was already done. So I already done it. So this is it. So now the impact in it also send me by color all my medical record. So the mediator, the Christophe Lavaget, the director of the SAP OR sent me my medical record from UK. So it means that I received my letter that I sent to 19 Boulevard Champ de Mars in Coma. So he sent me back. He sent me such information already, medical record in color, print in color, and also the medical record from France. So he's combined all the information, even the information for DHR. So he's already provided me such informations. And then after that information, I just say, no, I have to find out the reason why I didn't receive the letter that I sent the first 45 siège de comas, because such informations, medical record from UK that has not been sent since the 30 March 2020. I sent such informations and the information never 2021, and the information has not been sent back. So as I say earlier, the information has recently sent him back last week. So, and through the email that I had, they say that they previously sent me my medical record. They sent me the duplicate of the letter that I sent. I want to confirm something very clear because I understand what is really going on. So the SAP actually received the 2 letters of medical UK and French record cover letter, pink and green. So they received such information. So it's a duplicate letter. So I have from them that they really send me back the duplicate letter on the address that I sent on the 19 Boulevard Champ de Mars. I clearly say because I have received, and it may say that the 45 siège comma SAP doesn't exist from the SAP in 19 Boulevard Champ de Mars. I confirm me that address is a false address. So the information that I had from an employees from there actually may give me a wrong information. So in this case, as I had this information, I had an email from them. The letters come back now, the 90 Boulevard Champ de Mars of my medical record, the letter that they send now on from the 45 session of coma is actually my medical record from UK. So how can it's been took so long now since in March 2021 they sent me just now, but they could send the second letter, pink letter, 45 session of coma very quick. But I am with the missing of the GHR document, which is not appropriate regarding the situations I've been going through according to my medical situation. So in this case, I see that from the SAP 90 Boulevard, they really be very helpful in terms of anything I say, my Canvita, the CMU, the advice from the mediations, informations of approve the right address, and also declare the 45 read the siège is not is inexistent. They only are real in the address in the 90 Boulevard Champ de Mars. So in this case, something is going on. So And then the advice that I have from the sub is to go back to the post office and declare this situation. We have to say something. All this information already done in the past by talking to the post and declare the situations that are received that later come back home and the missing information. So we even went back to the police. I went to the police and declared the situation. They clearly told me they cannot do anything because I have to declare such information because the second letter that I sent to 90 Boulevard Champ de Mars, my friend actually sent me some money because the situation is not an easy situation. Send me money from Western Union from Spain so that I can send that document. Unfortunately, the system in the post office was dysfunctions in that time, so I could not be able to collect that money. So I went to Sami, they sent some information. I went to Unang, they asked me so many questions regarding my nationality, where I come from, where I live. They say you live in A11 Lausanne in Switzerland, which I'm not living there because such information was actually added through the system, which is is kind of very funny because I don't live in Switzerland. I live in Saint-Louis. À Ruchat-Peggy in Saint-Louis, 68 Saint-Louis. So, and this is a really funny information. So they also say you need to come back in the afternoon to be able to collect such information, such money. But I would like to say where I live is about must at least 1 hour by work through it in that post office. So I was like, I cannot come back in the afternoon there. So I went to town and I request to collect that money. And when I just tried to collect that money, this woman told me clearly that there was nothing there appear on the system. So they could not. So I asked my friend. My friend said that the money has been actually received from me, which I never done. I never received any money like that. That's why I went to the police, and the police said they cannot do something. When I went back there to the post office, they declared that the money has been found through the post office in the other town in Unang. So I had to go back there and I declared to them that I informed already the police, so they need to be careful because the second, the cover pink letter, the missing information JHR missing on that letter. And now I'm going to say the second pink letter, and I don't want any informations missing in that letter. So that's why I went to the police. And now the situation is this. The green letter for 45 Serge de Mukoma came back from home, and from the message that I have from the SAP say that they send this duplicate letter from 90 Boulevard Champ de Mars. The only document that I received is from the mediator, your director of SAP, who actually sent me the document that he received, all the medical record from France and UK and the JHR hospital. This is what I received from 90 Boulevard Champ de Mars. The 45 Boulevard Champ de Mars, because I make a second mediations to declare this issue that my medical record has been received somewhere and now been sending later on. So I've been asking for the second mediator to really be alert about my medical situation, about my medical documents. So surprisingly, I have the document back home. So this is actually the current situation. So, and I would like to say that I'm not gonna start anything anymore. I informed already the Caisse d'Assurance Maladie regarding this issue, that I received the letter from my medical record from UK of 45 Heritage Siege that has been sent me back, the green letter. The information to go back to the post office and ask such information, I will not do because I already done it. And I contact the police said they cannot do anything. I will challenge the post office regarding somebody actually think that they can collect the money, and the information that I had on the system is not right. So I will not go back and doing this anymore because something already be settled from my side. So in terms of the mediation, the medical record, so far the director say I must add the information. I already added because on the DMP or Amelie.fr they give the information that as patient I can add my medical record, and also only the professional health can add the information, and I have the right to say which professional can actually be access to my information. And I give access to any professional health to add the information, but as the dysfunctions of the MP doesn't functions very well, I had to add on my site fully. So, and that's the current situation. So now As I said, the SAP already done the best. The director received the document, but I don't know if he knows. I don't think he knows the history that I have with the address, the false address. That's why I point out to the second mediations that it must be allowed allow that somebody from there give me the 45 rue de siège commun to send my medical record from UK and France. That's why I send the two examples, 90 Boulevard Saint-Germain. That's why I contact him back based on the advice from the police. So in this case, hopefully this testimony will be accounted and into considerations, because I've been in communication with many people in external and internal. I have to certain things as well. So I can't see myself start from zero, something that has already set it. The only things that I'm waiting for is from the feedback from the mediation based on the address, the wrong address that I got from the employees in that there, and the letter green came back home that I sent on March 31 March came back just now. The pink one on 45 says Yokoma has been came back and missing on JHR. That's why I sent the two examples with UK and French medical record in 90 Boulevard Champ de Mars. So I want I wish and I would like the director to be alarmed in that situation. In terms of my travel to Spain, as I said, I'm stay here into the June, that then I can go to Spain, because I'm seeking to have some experience in Spanish and so my current situations. Obviously, a student will wish to be working a little bit, have a little bit experience in my area. So I'm very into language. So temporary position in Spain to work a little bit and to be there a little bit. It is I believe something that I can consider it. And also, as I said, the challenge that I had with my situation was it affecting me to complete my dissertation properly in my master's, because it's actually a master's I took 4 years to undertake and to do. And when I came back to France, found myself in emergency again, and no one can tell me what was the main issue. So it's just recently that I tried to recover of such situations. That's why I'm talking about the situations and hopefully have a feedback. So thank you. I'm happy to share this testimony with everybody, and I really thank you for all your listening. For those who have acknowledged everything, and I thank you very much for your listening. Now, I can speak in France, I can summarize in France. Donc, je voudrais dire à toutes les personnes qui ont pu contribuer par rapport à ça, comme par exemple la caisse d'assurance maladie, et aussi certains employés qui m'ont donné des conseils au sujet de la situation en fonction de mes documents médicaux qui m'ont posé beaucoup de problèmes pour enregistrer et pour avoir un retour un peu plus rapide. De ce fait-ci, la caisse d'assurance maladie m'a conseillé vraiment de contacter le médiateur et d'informer la situation, parce qu'en fait j'ai tourné un peu partout. On peut dire, pour ceux qui ont eu des soins à l'étranger, dans la mairie, pour information, le lien, tu peux cliquer dedans et informer que oui, que tu as eu des soins à l'étranger, ce que j'ai fait pour la France et pour UK, et aussi par rapport aux différents soins que je vais avoir. Voilà pourquoi, pour mon départ en Espagne, j'ai voulu avoir en fait certificat médical pour pouvoir me donner l'accès aux aides à l'étranger, qu'ils puissent être informés et surtout que je puisse continuer mes séances de kiné, de massage en fait, de ma jambe. Comme j'ai eu ce retour un peu négatif du docteur, j'ai dû prendre j'ai dû planifier tout en France avant de voyager, hein. Parce que voilà quoi. Et donc moi je voudrais remercier ceux qui m'ont aidé, qui ont donné les bonnes informations dans la caisse d'assurance maladie, que ceux qui ont donné les bonnes informations dans la caisse de maladie. Maintenant, vis-à-vis du médiateur, je reste ferme sur ma décision. Je ne laisse pas cette histoire se terminer ainsi, car la lettre de 45 rue du siège de boulevard est apparue. La lettre verte a été renvoyée à mon adresse. Alors que je l'ai envoyé le 31 mars 2021 et ça arrive qu'en mai, la semaine dernière, je précise. La lettre rose est revenue à la maison et il manquait les documents de la GHR de Mulhouse, des urgences. Ça manquait dans cette lettre rose, déchirée dans tous les sens. Adresse 45, adresse 45 rue de Champ de Mars, 45 rue siège, à Colmar, c'est revenu. Maintenant, les deux lettres qui contiennent en fait mes documents médicaux français et anglais ont été bien réceptionnées à Champ de Mars, 19 rue de Champ de Mars. Donc pour l'instant, j'ai fait appel au médiateur, maintenant à voir qu'est-ce qui va se passer et en espérant avoir une réponse un peu plus claire et une protection sur mes données médicaux et surtout que je puisse un peu me rétablir de tout ça parce que voilà quoi. Donc merci pour votre aide, mais je n'en reste pas comme ça, je ne laisse pas cette histoire se terminer comme ça parce qu'il faut que je puisse avoir une réponse définitive du médiateur et que toutes mes informations médicales puissent être sécurisées et surtout que moi je puisse dormir correctement et que ma famille puisse être protégée. Donc je vous remercie et je vous souhaite une très bonne journée et je vous dis see you later for the next video. Thank you.